Please welcome Director of Product Marketing for Red Hat Ansible, Katie Piccarelli.
Welcome to day 2 of AnsibleFest 2024. I'm Katie Piccarelli, and I lead product marketing for Red Hat Ansible. I am also a huge technology nerd, and I grew up on the Space Coast near Cape Canaveral, Florida, where I lived for watching shuttle launches from the schoolyard or even my front yard. I consider myself lucky to have been part of Red Hat's earliest AI projects, and it has been awesome seeing the picture of our vision of AI come into fuller focus this week. The very near future is going to have so much change, so much innovation, and yeah, maybe a little bit of disruption too. But we work in enterprise IT. Change, disruption, navigating new realities on the fly, it's what we all do. And deep down, it's why we all love this industry. Because the people in this room are the people who are going to shape how business gets done in the coming decade. So, with that in mind, let's think about the theme for today's session: AI, automation, and the next enterprise IT revolution. Here's the thing. I think that the next enterprise IT revolution is actually going to be a quiet one. Okay, not the AI part per se. There's certainly nothing quiet about AI these days. But the second half of the equation, the automation part, that's not noisy or flashy. It's all about resolve. Yesterday, you heard from Beth Boy, and she talked about how automating with a purpose is something their team is really focused on. That's the name of the game here: being proactive, being strategic, being prepared. The organizations who will be able to harness AI as a competitive differentiator won't do it only because they have the biggest data model or pour the most resources into GPUs. They will do it by operating automated, resilient infrastructure that can seamlessly scale AI workloads, while at the same time integrating with the AI tools that help them become more intelligent. Point blank, if you aren't automating and maturing your automation journey, then it may take longer to take AI where you want it to go. Are your networks, your data, your storage, your applications, are they connected and fully optimized? Do you have the teams and the processes in place to handle the management of load balancers, GPUs, and the data flowing back and forth from the edge? And guess what? That's just the baseline. These problems, they will only get bigger and more complex. AI models, they can be tricky enough, and soon your organization won't be dealing with either one model. There might be dozens within your IT estate, some open, some closed, and how and where you access each of those models might actually be different. Okay, that's a lot to chew on, but here's what's interesting about the next enterprise IT revolution that I just mentioned. It's built on a truth that cuts right through the noise and the hype. At the end of the day, AI is a tool intended to make our work, our technology, our businesses, and our lives better and more efficient. AI, it's a service to connect to. It's an API to be tapped into. It's part of the fabric of IT operations, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Now, it might be a really big piece of the puzzle, but it is one piece. And when it comes to AI, the core tenets of automation, they still remain the same. And so does the value that Red Hat Ansible and our ecosystem bring to the equation. You've heard a lot about AI so far this week, and for very, very good reason. An AI-dominated future is coming, and building an automated foundation for successful AI adoption is something that everyone here in this room can begin doing today. I'm not promising that it's going to be easy, but it is eminently achievable, and we're going to show you a little bit of how you can do that today. First, we have Craig Mitchell from Navy Federal Credit Union, and he's going to explain why it's not just about building technology, it's about building a robust and adaptable culture. Next, we have Matt Jovanovic, who's going to outline how Mapfre's focus on using automation to drive consistency is delivering security and resilience across their global operations, and they're actually going to share some key AI lessons that they've learned along the way. Finally, we're going to show you how Ansible Automation Platform is the foundational link between enterprise IT and AI. How? By orchestrating other tools in your stack to maximize the impact of the disparate AI capabilities that they offer, by automating and optimizing the infrastructure that your AI applications will need to run on. And lastly, by leveraging Ansible AI capabilities that will directly boost the efficiencies of the teams that you have today. All right, let's get to it. Please welcome Craig Mitchell.
Please welcome to the stage Navy Federal Credit Union Manager of Site Reliability Engineering, Craig Mitchell.
Thanks, Katie. Good morning, AnsibleFest. My name is Craig Mitchell, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm the Manager of Site Reliability Engineering at Navy Federal Credit Union. And while I might be an SRE by trade, I'm an automator at heart. I really enjoyed this morning's summit keynote. And it's interesting to think about our AI adoption journey through the lens of our automation adoption experience at Navy Federal. Think about how many teams you know or have been a part of that have tried, perhaps unsuccessfully, to roll out new tools or systems without the right culture in place first. Was that team ready to adapt to major change? Did individuals feel that it was in their best interest? In my career, and certainly in my time with Navy Federal, I found that no matter how great a tool is at doing a thing, or how sound the strategy behind employing it may be, successful adoption of major change isn't going to be sustainable without the right culture in place. Now, these are lessons we learned the hard way at Navy Federal as we embarked upon our automation journey a few years ago. We started adopting Ansible Tower, and we chose Ansible because of its accessibility and our belief in the open source ethos behind the project. But then we hit that classic adoption gap. We had 1, 2 early movers, but the solution never got sticky enough for the rest of our org to fully adopt. Now, have any of you seen or listened to Simon Sinek's Why TED Talk? It's pretty interesting, and I highly recommend checking it out. He has this concept he calls the golden circle, which is the idea that both successful leaders and organizations start with why they do what they do, rather than what they do or how they do it. And when we initially ran into that adoption gap, it was kind of a tough blow not to achieve quick success. We had a great plan, and we knew we had the right technology solution. We were eager to roll it out and drive some great results for Navy Federal. But we took a step back. We reframed our goal of make Ansible the enterprise platform to, by fostering a culture of openness, transparency, and knowledge sharing, we aim to streamline processes, reduce duplication of effort, and maximize automation across the enterprise. The shift in perspective significantly impacted how we approached everything and allowed us to meet teams where they were rather than where we had incorrectly assumed they were. And that was lesson 1. Never underestimate how much effort it takes to build a community and a culture. Having a sound methodology in place helps, but it won't immediately be self-fulfilling, which leads us to lesson 2. It won't always be smooth sailing. Far from it. Adaptability is the key. You cannot be afraid to try new tools or processes on the fly. Now, our community is focused on infrastructure as code. As such, we envision a command line utopia where ClickOps is anathema and declarative infrastructure is de facto. That wasn't the starting point for some of the teams within Navy Federal, where a UI was the main point of interaction with their particular tool set. This placed us in a quandary, because allowing access to the AAP UI would undermine the fundamental rationale for the community. But not allowing it would ostracize a significant proportion of the teams that we were looking to include into the community. How did we overcome this challenge? Well, compromising our values is something we couldn't do. But we could compromise on our approach to playbook development by allowing access to the UI in sandbox environments, subsequently exporting that configuration as JSON. Teams could move quickly and develop in an environment where they were comfortable. So our development teams had the flexibility they needed, while at an organizational level, we were able to maintain the integrity of our production environment. And that leads us to our final lesson. And it's a natural extrapolation from lessons 1 and 2. The importance of curiosity. At Navy Federal, we're proud to have built a vibrant culture of curiosity. We've learned some hard lessons along the way, but now we have an IT organization that doesn't fear new tools and is instead eager to learn how to best utilize them. Initially, AAP was brought on for its functionality and ease of use. But what transpired was AAP became an accelerator of cultural change. Being able to have teams that, up until this point, were literally speaking different languages, PowerShell, Bash, Chef, etc. Have them be able to share code, ideas, and workflows in a common format, it's invaluable. Now, one event that comes to mind is in the first community of practice call that we held, there was real-time sharing of code. There was real-time sharing of Ansible playbooks between 3 teams, Linux, Windows, and identity management. Now, this was such a small part of that initial call, but the significance was huge, and it offered immediate validation of our approach. Our journey with AI hasn't really started yet, but it's not too far on the horizon. And I'm confident that the foundation of transparency, innovation, and flexibility that we've built while adopting an automation-first mindset will serve us well. And why? Well, let me leave you with this thought. In any bet, you do the utmost to ensure the odds are in your favor. And as leaders in an ever-evolving, high-stakes industry, we're having to make more and more consequential bets on technology than ever before. In a world where change and people are the only 2 constants, I say the best thing you can do to boost your odds is to bet on your people to carry your organization through. We bet on Ansible, we bet on our team, and we bet on ourselves. And we won big. We built a culture that is ready and eager to take on whatever is coming next. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Navy Federal Credit Union is doing some awesome things with automation. I love that idea of building a culture of curiosity. I might actually be borrowing that for my own team. But I think that the lessons that Craig and his team have learned have a lot of relevance to the organizations thinking about how they're going to adopt AI in a meaningful way. It requires both a technological and a cultural foundation. So building on that idea of culture a little bit, our next speaker, Matt, has a great story about building trust in automation at Mapfre. They are an insurance giant where efficiency and resiliency are of the utmost importance. All right, Matt, you're up.
Please welcome Mapfre Corporate Cloud Strategy Director, Matt Jovanovic.
Hi, thank you, Katie. So I'm Matt. I'm leading cloud strategy at Mapfre. If you don't know Mapfre, that's fine. We are a global insurance company. We operate in 38 countries, 31,000 employees. And we don't make mobile phones. We don't produce electric cars or something that you can talk to your friends about. We sell insurance. So trust is our product. It's very important to us that when our customers need us, we can show them that we really take care of what matters to them. For us, security, and resiliency are crucial for our business, for our technological teams, for everyone. And when we started defining cloud strategy, we said, what would the great KPIs be for the cloud strategy? Migrating applications to cloud is an output. It's not a business outcome. So we decided to go towards the outcomes. Time to market is a relevant one for our business. Cost and sustainability is very important to us. And most importantly, resilience and security. 3 pillars. Then we started analyzing the projects underneath each of these. So time to market, definitely automation. Cost and sustainability, automatically shutting down the environments, deleting orphan resources, so automation, again, too. Resiliency and security, automating DR, automating HA, so again, automation. 3 pillars, a lot of automation projects. So I don't know how scalable budget is in your organizations, not as much as cloud, right? But for us, it was a challenge to get the funding for all these projects. So I'll share with you our story, some stuff we learned, some stuff you can copy, some stuff you should not copy. So let's start at time to market. Definitely business has great visibility of time to market. That's important to them. So we did a great focus on platform engineering and developer experience. 6 months is the period it took our business to get the new feature to the market, to the target user. 6 months, that's a lot of time. And when we analyzed the exact data, we figured out we lose 15 days only to create a cloud environment and 3 more weeks just to get the developer onboarded. So we went straight for that. And the results were great. We reduced 55% of lead time, 55%, so from 6 months in less than 3. 85% reduction in error rate, and 4,700 of hours of developer time saved. So a takeaway here, don't measure developer productivity. Measure developer experience. Improve developer experience, and the productivity will come along. Because developers don't want you measuring their Jira boards or their time because they don't feel comfortable with that. First one. With this funding, we unblocked the second pillar. So if you remember, cost and sustainability. So automation was the least complicated part in this part. So we automated deletion of the pre-production environments, shutting down. But the problem is that we developed 6 automations for FinOps. But developers do not like FinOps. They did not implement these. That was our biggest challenge. So luckily, I have a very talented team. And I have one of my top engineers. She implemented this nuking the environment automation. And she even convinced the developers that it's good for them to nuke their environment after 30 days of not being used. That's a talent. So look for that talent in your organization. Someone in Red Hat proposed to me to, instead of gamifying this part, to go for the wall of shame. So I'm actually considering that. So the third one, the most important pillar for us, resiliency, and the most complicated one to measure. So I'm going to give you a secret, right? So it's very difficult to measure this. If your systems are resilient, they don't fall down. So it's really hard to justify the investment here, right? But there's a person, our CTO, that always gets a call when something fails. So he, at 3 a.m., when he wakes up to get that WhatsApp that something failed in Brazil, he remembers that our systems are not resilient. So we introduced this KPI that you can copy, the hours of sleep of the CTO. However, he did not enjoy the idea of putting sensors in his bedroom to make sure that this KPI is enforced. So if you find a better way, please let me know. So automation was critical to our success, and it still is, right? And Red Hat was our partner from the beginning of this journey. But since we implemented these 3 sets of automation projects, we got the role of design authority globally. And then we started automating our legacy systems. This is where Red Hat played a vital role. Why? We started with networking. Have you tried convincing networking engineers that automation is awesome? It does not work. They do not like it. So someone from Red Hat told us, just introduce the developer in the team. Just put them in the team. Put the same objective and get the developer and network engineer working together. It was chaos. They did not understand each other at all. But in time, it started working. So a takeoff from this part, first, talk to Red Hat. They can help you reduce the number of errors that you can make from maybe 5 to 3, because they know some stories and some other experiences that others, like me, have made, and you should not make them again. And the second, the ratio that works for us at the moment is 1:1. So when we have infrastructure team that automates legacy, 1 developer, 1 infrastructure engineer, 1-on-1, working together. If you scale 3-3, that works fine. Okay, so getting back to our reliability. This is another shocking information. I don't know if this happened to you, but when you discover the data, you find out stuff that really shocks you, right? So we found out that 73% of our incidents were caused by human error, 73%. So we said, okay, great idea. Let's use AI. We have use cases. Our business uses them for claims, like the typical, like take a picture and see what the damage is. Let's use them for this. We have 20 years of incident data. We can, I don't know if you played with RAG, it's awesome. So you put it in, 20 years of data, and you get the results, and the operator can play with the tool and say like, hey, these are the symptoms, what's the most likely root cause? So what do you think, how it went? It went horrible. It went horribly wrong. Nothing worked. We had the accuracy of only 3%. 3%. So it was hallucinating all the time. Why? Why? What do you think's under the water? Automation. Automation. Our processes were not automated. Our infrastructure was not automated. The thing that Katie was claiming before, automation and AI come together perfectly. If you don't automate and you try to put AI on top of nothing, it won't work. You will get 3%. We improved this. It's still not great, but we're on it, right? So what's next for us? Extreme automation and AI are awesome, but you need to focus on security. We had incidents that the developer in Brazil, in pre-production environment, gets compromised data, and we have to manually disconnect their VPNs. So we need something that can implement an automation based on a set of different attributes, not just RBAC, something really attribute-based. And it needs to be in the code. It needs to be fast. So if you saw event-based Ansible and most of our policy as code, that's something that we're going to be working on really strongly this year. So I guess if you invite me next year, I'll tell you about how it went. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Thank you, Matt. We're looking forward to seeing where Mapfre's automation journey goes next. And I hope, Matt, that we can catch up again in Madrid this summer. We've heard some amazing stories over the past 2 days. The Red Hat Ansible team continues to draw inspiration from how our customers are putting Ansible to work in unique and very impactful ways to drive their organization forward. In our last few minutes this morning, we're going to pivot back to the pretend company that you may have seen this morning at Red Hat Summit, Parasol. But while the company might be pretend, the technology is anything but pretend. And we're going to show you how Ansible Automation Platform is the foundation for AI adoption, and hopefully get your wheels turning about how your organization can employ what Ansible and help you what's ready for what's coming next. And for that, I'd like to welcome Matthew Jones, our Ansible architect, and a few members of the Parasol IT team. Come on out, guys.
Please welcome to the stage Red Hat Distinguished Engineer and Chief Ansible Architect, Matthew Jones.
Man, it's really good to be here. So let's go ahead and get started. Y'all saw the insurance company Parasol working through some of the things that we did on the Red Hat Summit stage a little while ago, we're going to be going a bit deeper now and explore how their IT team is using Ansible Automation Platform as the foundation for the organization's evolving incorporation of AI. Obviously, every organization is unique, and each is going to experience the AI revolution in distinct ways and at their own pace. So today, we're going to explore 3 facets of how Parasol is engaging with AI. Number 1, how they're orchestrating their tools to get the most out of AI-driven insights. Number 2, how they're using those insights to optimize their IT infrastructure. And finally, how they're tapping into generative AI capabilities for the ongoing creation of more intelligent workflows. In the end, it's a cyclical journey, with automation and AI building on top of each other to help organizations take their IT operations to an entirely new level. So with that said, come on out, Parasol team, and let's show everybody what we're doing.
Please welcome to the stage, from Red Hat Ansible, Senior Principal Product Manager, Craig Brandt. Senior Product Manager, Emily Bach. Senior Principal Technical Marketing Manager, Sean Cavanaugh. Principal Technical Marketing Manager, Nuno Martins.
So if you've been paying attention to us over the past 18 months or so, event-driven Ansible has changed the possibilities for automation. Having the ability to plug intelligent event sources into Ansible has allowed our customers to respond to mission-critical issues in their workloads by enabling them to drive consistent troubleshooting, fact gathering, and remediation all from a single event. Event-driven Ansible is next-level automation. And when we layer in AI capabilities, we have the chance to make our observability, response, and remediation efforts more resilient than ever before. The key here is the ability of Ansible to orchestrate multiple disparate tools, sources, all of those things to provide more useful, actionable, predictive intelligence. And that's where we're going to start today with the Parasol team. So, Emily, you work on Parasol's architecture, right?
That's right.
So, talk to me about what's going on.
Well, Matthew, we've got a lot of tools and a lot of technologies swirling around in our stack, and they all seem to be rolling out new AI capabilities like all the time. Luckily, Parasol has gotten a lot more comfortable with event-driven Ansible. So as our vendors continue to release new AI stuff, the ability of event-driven Ansible to use plugins to connect all of them allows us to harness the data and intelligence that those streams are providing.
That's pretty cool.
It is. And it's starting to give us a much clearer picture of our entire IT estate and how our automation is working everywhere. I mean, we're automating everything from our network to our infrastructure to our security operations.
So what are some of the specific ways that event-driven Ansible can connect AI to make your life easier?
Well, I thought you'd never ask, because we manage a number of applications here at Parasol. And one of them, Braybyte, has been having some issues with some newly deployed nodes. So let's see what's going on. We'll pop into the team chat and, ooh.
That doesn't look good.
Yeah, it is not, but at least DNS is working, but there is a lot going on.
We need to get those new dev systems up as well.
Yeah, so what is that error? Let me check the app.
Let's have a look here. OK, so it looks like we're getting some high usage on our application nodes.
Indeed. Well, the good news is that event-driven Ansible is listening to the performance copilot. So if you saw there, it triggered the controller to restore the performance profile. So it should be good after that. But our predictive AI has indicated this might be a memory leak. So I think we should audit the nodes real quick just to make sure we have it sorted. I think we have a template for that in the automation controller.
Did you say predictive AI?
I did, yes. We're actually using an AI model to monitor our servers so we can be proactive and catch problems before they actually cause an outage.
Holy smokes, Batman.
I got this. Let me use some chat ops.
All right, well, yeah, so you can see that EDA controller applied to Sean, triggering an infrastructure awareness template. So that workflow is going and waiting for approval. You can see that right there, and it's running a few templates to gather information about our nodes, and it's creating a ServiceNow ticket. So I approved that workflow, and all those automated tasks can take place, gather that critical information, and you can see the output here. Those problematic nodes are overutilizing memory, as we suspected.
Okay, so I'm going to check the service now, right? So I need to go and log into this. So here we go. Let me log into my service now instance. And we're going to have to see if this ticket has been created.
Come on, hurry up, man.
Hey, man, give me a break here. Okay, all right. So we have our ticket here. And let me grab this report. So we save this report. And then let's see how things are looking. Okay, so I'm getting there. Okay. All right, so we can see that those 2 nodes that are affected, everything looks normal, but oh wait, Python versions. Python versions are different.
Well, that's an easy fix at least. We can create a remediation playbook and run it across all nodes using our mesh.
Well, excellent job. So we've seen how AI tools can assist us in predicting issues and how with the ability of event-driven Ansible, we can plug into these technologies which allows us to build remediation and enforce compliance with policy as code. But what happens if you don't understand the issue? Modern enterprises are managing vast technology stacks composed of multiple, sometimes dozens or hundreds of tools spread across multiple data centers and deployed in all sorts of ways. There's a lot of complexity there. And one of the strengths of Ansible is that it works really well in multi-domain environments. But just because an organization's automation platform is highly interoperable doesn't automatically mean that its team has the skills necessary to manage all of those environments. And even if the requisite subject matter expertise is present, there's a good chance that it's dispersed and siloed off somewhere. And could Ansible maybe help us find what the potentials actually mean? Perhaps this could lower our troubleshooting toil in teams. Language models are able to provide us answers to questions we might have, and using Ansible, we can embed an API call to gather information and enrich the data that we provide to those teams. But let's explore that a bit with Sean and Nuno from the beloved Parasol IT Ops team.
Get started. Hey, Nuno.
Hey, what's up, man? And don't yell, you're right next to me.
I didn't yell. Anyways, are you a Windows expert?
Absolutely not.
Me either. I didn't think so. Well, guess what? Our application just dropped on 2 nodes, and I suspect the common denominator here is the SQL server providing the backend. And look, here's our server, and if we look at SQL Manager, it is stopped. I wonder why.
Let's have a look.
I'm going to open Service Manager, and in here, we can really see that there's a critical error with our database.
That's not great. Any idea what event 17133 is?
No one knows what that event means. But we have an EDA, event-driven Ansible, listening to these system events already. EDA is able to take this event ID and ask Parasol's watsonx Granite model for some more detailed information. Hopefully it can tell us what's going on without interfering with the production environment.
Okay, so our controller has been triggered, and we're going to be running this workflow. And ultimately, what are we doing? We're going to query the data model, and we're going to get that information from the data model, and that will allow us to enrich a service ticket. So you can see we queried this via API. We've now gone and created a ticket. And Sean, let's go have a look at what this ticket says.
Oh, ServiceNow login again, I see.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, can you
now
refresh?
We refresh. Okay.
Can you click on it?
There we go. Wait, let me
Come
get
on,
there.
man, I want to see the data.
There.
Whoa, that's a lot of data. But it only took a few steps to resolve it.
This all feels like it stems from the automated foundation we've laid here at Parasol, maybe with the Ansible automation platform.
We turn EDA loose to connect our sources across our stack, and then AAP was able to connect directly.
Well, underrated aspect here, automation can be poetic. So even if we wanted to make a serious situation a little bit lighthearted, we could query the same Granite model and ask us for some output, but based in haiku form.
Haiku.
So let's do that. We're going to query this, and we can see we got our output from our LLM. And there we go, haiku. So the haiku is, the event ID 1713, SQL won't thrive, check logs and fix it right. That is beautiful.
That's awesome, a little weird too, but hey, thanks guys. I love to see Ansible being used in concert with AI to optimize IT infrastructure like this, but help me out, what is the next steps from here?
Well, me and Nuno fixed this server issue for now, but we need to create a playbook to prevent this issue from happening again.
Yeah, we got a pretty good handle on this issue, but we're just super cool ops guys. We need that dev team over there to start earning those salaries and create some good automation content that we can bake into our day 2 ops.
I'm with you. All right, hang tight for a second. Craig, you heard Nuno.
I heard him.
I guess it's time to earn your keep. What's the plan here?
Well, thanks, Matt. And yeah, no pressure at all. I'm part of the Parasol development team, and I need to quickly create a playbook for my, well, so-called friends, Sean and Nuno there, to help remediate this issue and fix it for good. So let's get started. I'm in the Ansible plugins for Red Hat Developer Hub view, and I'm going to open a new instance of Ansible Development Workspaces, which provides on-demand VS Code environments. I'm going to open my project, and now I'm going to ask Ansible Lightspeed with IBM watsonx Code Assistant to generate a complete playbook using a new intuitive interface.
Wait, Craig. This feels like a big leap since the last time we checked on Ansible Lightspeed.
It is indeed, Matt, and we have evolved beyond single and multitask suggestions, which we wanted to get right for our enterprise customers, and now we can confidently generate context-aware playbooks. But as you know,
no. He's going to talk about pudding again.
the proof is indeed in the pudding. So I'm going to put in my natural language prompt, and I'm going to upgrade my Python version to 3.9.18 on my Red Hat Enterprise Linux systems, and click on Next.
Oh, so this is pretty cool, but what are we seeing here?
Oh yeah, it's super cool. So Ansible Lightspeed is providing a step-by-step description of exactly what this playbook will do before generating it. This gives me the opportunity to review it, and if necessary, I can go back and update my prompt to get a better suited suggestion. But you know what? This looks good to me, so I'm going to click on Generate Playbook. And there you have it, a complete playbook with our baked-in best practices and expertise. Matt, have a look on the right-hand side of the editor. We're going to introduce a new exciting feature called Content Explanation, which provides a step-by-step description of exactly what this playbook will do. Now, this is really important for me as a developer because it enables me to trust the recommendation and more safely implement it in my environment. Oh, and it has links to the documentation too to keep my Ansible skills in the right place.
That seems really handy and colorful.
It's unbelievably handy. Next, let's follow recommended practices and commit it to our source code repository. I'm going to use a very descriptive description, something original.
Oh, that helps,
And
yeah.
I'm going to click on Commit. And when I sync this playbook, this is going to start a new job in Ansible Automation Platform. So let's switch over to the Automation Controller, which is a management layer of our platform. And, well, the playbook successfully synced. And what this playbook will do for me is create a job template to help me deploy that latest version of Python. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Execute. And we should see that finishing up and running. All right.
Pretty quick.
Quick indeed. And Matt, I think let's take a step back here and realize what we were able to accomplish. Ansible Automation Platform enabled us to use our natural, easy-to-understand language prompt and generate a remediate playbook in our environment in under a minute.
Yeah. Look, this is really exciting, and it's a real time saver. Those guys need all the help they can get.
Indeed, they do.
It's cool to see the vision for Ansible Lightspeed reach the next step. Beyond serving as the way to help experienced developers move at, well, Lightspeed, this interface and the step-by-step guidance really offers less experienced coders an invaluable helping hand in getting their desired workflows automated. This is AI being put to work to really drive automation forward in a meaningful way.
I can't agree with you more. But how about we take this up a notch and combine our previous demo where we used AI for ticket enrichment with this Ansible Lightspeed demo to show a true closed-loop automation use case.
Let's see it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ansible Automation Platform will harness the power of AI to help us realize true self-healing infrastructure. So let's get started. That same Windows issue triggered event-driven Ansible to start a new automation workflow. And workflows basically allow us to stitch smaller pieces of automation together to solve more complex issues. In this instance, it's going to start the self-healing infrastructure workflow. So let's switch back to Automation Controller. And indeed, it's running. Let's have a closer look. So interestingly enough, that LLM ticket enrichment workflow, that was from our previous demo.
Yeah.
Ansible content is composable, and we can reuse it in multiple use cases. It's doing exactly the same function here and querying AI to enrich that ticket, get more information about it. As you can see, all the steps that our workflow are busy executing, which is great. Greed is good, as we know.
Walk through,
And
yeah, run.
this step in particular, we are asking Ansible Lightspeed to generate a playbook to check and remediate our environment. And you can see that it's using the full context to generate a playbook best suited for the task at hand. All right, the next step is to sync that playbook into our workflow, and that completed successfully. All right, and of course, last but not least, we need to run that remediation
Let's
playbook.
run it.
So let's look at the output there. Whoa, something did change. Colin's been clicking on adware again.
I knew it.
McNaughton Defender.exe is definitely on the naughty list, but let's check if it was remediated. Okay, and the playbook sorted it out, so we're back in a
Thank goodness. I
composable
swear this
state.
happens every week.
Oh, yeah. The final step in our workflow is to obviously update the ticket with our remediation and close it. And this is why Ansible Automation Platform is mission critical. It enabled us to listen for events and changes in our environment and automatically remediate incidents to keep our systems secure, compliant, and in operational state. So we can log back into the Parasol administrative console, and let's look at the
Check
state
on
of
those
those servers.
servers.
Well, in our business, green is good, right?
Green is good.
All right. Okay. Ansible Automation Platform helped me tame the complexity of all these disparate systems, including AI, and it integrated them together to help me realize true self-healing infrastructure.
This is amazing. A distinct lack of haikus in this particular part there.
Next version.
You're not wrong, and that's very cool stuff, Craig, but not to rain on the parade. Are there any concerns about allowing AI to run in an automated fashion like that? Like, what if it makes its own new problem, like turning off a service that impacts mission-critical workloads?
You know what? That is a superb question. Over to you, Matt.
I think I can take that one. And it's one that a lot of organizations are wrangling with, and we'll only see it more. This is where policy as code comes in to help hold AI accountable. So, for example, in this case, if we want to avoid disruptions, we can create a policy to not allow Linux or Windows services to be reset unless they are in a specific time period. This policy book checks that job template is running during allowed days or hours. This allows us to take advantage of AI and innovate quickly while still having a high level of trust that any automation created adheres to the policies that this organization expects and enforces.
Well, that does sound pretty Matt-tastic, and I do feel a little better.
You should, but policy as code has multiple evaluation points in the automation pipeline. So let's look through a few more of those. Policy as code can also enforce what collections are allowed to be used. Whether you're using AI solutions or not, we can make sure we are only using content collections that are blessed by your organization. This allows us to control what type of content can be used before it's executed in your environment. Let's look at another one, though. Policy as code can also help enforce operational policies. So in this case, we can enforce that only certain instance types can be ordered for provisioning in AWS. This could work for a variety of public clouds, but also OpenShift virtualization, VMware, anything that's similar to that. This policy checks the usage of EC2, and if a task using Amazon AWS EC2 instance uses the unapproved instance type, the violation will be detected. Policy as code can also enforce your best practices into the playbooks themselves. So in this case, we enforce recommended file permissions so that Ansible playbooks that don't set them will be flagged and denied. This is a great way to make sure all of the content being generated is meeting your standards. This policy book prohibits using the sticky bit as a file permission. So if the mode option for a task using the Ansible built-in file module is 1777, a violation will be detected. Today, we've highlighted a few of the ways Ansible can help serve as the foundation for successful AI adoption in your organization. As Emily showed us, event-driven Ansible allows us to orchestrate our entire stack and connect the AI capabilities of the various tools at our disposal. Ansible Automation Platform also offers ops teams like Sean and Nuno the chance to use automation to integrate directly with language models to leverage AI for more optimized stacks. Finally, Craig showed us how Ansible Lightspeed continues to evolve in exciting ways, helping us directly connect, harness, operationalize AI to improve our automation efforts. What I hope you take away above all else is a reinforcement of what Katie said a little while ago. AI is, yes, a game changer, but with Ansible, AI doesn't have to be daunting. We're going to use it to make our IT ops more streamlined, our stacks more efficient, intelligent, and our teams more efficient. And we're going to do that while building trust in automating mission-critical workloads. That's the real evolution coming to AI. It's not going to sweep us automators aside. It's going to make us even more powerful. So thanks, Parasol team. And I guess we should let Katie come out, bring us home. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Matt, and the entire Parasol IT team. It is super exciting to see how Ansible Automation Platform can help an organization like Parasol make their initial foray into applied AI as successful and as impactful as possible. As I mentioned at the top, AI is new and it's exciting and yeah, maybe a tiny bit complex. But if anyone can figure out how to harness AI in the context of IT operations, it's the people in this room. You will impact AI as much as AI will impact you. I truly believe that. A couple quick reminders before you head off to your next sessions. Be sure to check out the Ansible Lounge during the block party tonight. It's located at Avanti Food and Beverage. And if you haven't already, come by the Ansible booth, give the event-driven automation putting demo a try, and maybe grab some swag there. I'm sure there's a little bit left. Thank you again to Craig Mitchell and Matt Jovanovic, and thank all of you for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day. Happy automating.